It's been 4 months since 10.0 came out, and about 3.5 months since I did a last tier list on Glooga partners. So today I wanted to just go over the changes in the meta and maybe some of the patch changes that happened in 10.1. So it's going to be a 10.1 tier list of all the best Glooga partners and maybe how you want to build team comps. Now I'm not going to go over everything, just the things that are changing. So if you want to check out my full thoughts, be sure to check out my 10.0 tier list in the description. We're going to go ahead and jump right in, so go ahead, but first make sure you subscribe. I always like it when people are just here and leave a comment saying how they enjoy my content. It really makes my day. Alright, so we're going to start with the cooler options here. Now, really the only thing that's changed is probably Zap, and Zap is being run more because people are learning that with the Zap buffs it has really good mobility, and of course with the Suction Bomb it just makes a really good package. It has a much higher cooler output than Pencil or Edit, so it's actually pretty decent. If you want to run an alternative anchor, I think Zap is a good option, but I'm not sure if I would have Zap be my first choice. I'm going to have it go here. I'm going to try and order these now, since at least the best ones, since everything is already laid out for me. So I'll just put them here. Then you run this one for Urchin or for any other short range maps if you want. And I guess Rapid's there. I don't really think it's that crazy, but you can run it, I guess. Next up, we have the best fighting partners. And I am going to make a big change. I think that this weapon, S-Blast, both S-Blasts are fine. Run whatever kit you want. I don't think it matters too much. I think S-Blast overall is just proven time and time again that it's just a crazy main weapon. So if you have a player that's really good at S-Blast, even though it's not as synergistic or like can play off of Glooga as much as maybe V-Blaster can or Range Blaster, I think they deserve to be up to here. They have so many results and they fit very cleanly with other weapons you might want to run on your comps. I think in terms, I'll order this after actually. Any other changes I would make? I think Crab Blaster is just not there, so I'm actually gonna take. I don't even think this one is gonna be in Pickup Syndrome. The kit just doesn't work. It can't really play for Crab Tank. The only thing that's really working for it is beacons, but you'd probably rather have that in a support slot. I would keep everything here for sure. And as far as Carbon Rollers, good. Gal got buffed. I think it's still here though. I wouldn't. It's very selfish. It's not really going to be painting for its team that much, but it's fine. And then I think that would probably be it here. Nautilus. Maybe put this one in here because it got buffed. I think this one could be a good pair just because of how strong it is. I don't know if it has too much energy, but it can definitely bully some of the matchups that Glooga has a hard time with just because of its range. So maybe there is some merit in there. I have to experiment with that some more. Alright, I'm gonna rate the best fighting partners. I'm gonna order them. I think I would probably put... This is gonna be very similar to how most of the tier lists are, honestly. I'd probably put Decav here. I would want Slosher. Slosher's AoE with strikes as well. Decav has some extra paint, which is really good. Really good killing power, and it has bubble. Take attention away from Glooga or set it up with bubbles. Really amazing weapon. And then I think S-Blast is also there. Just really solid AoE weapon. And then I would probably put Stamper here as an alternative to Decav if you don't have someone who plays Decav. Stamper's not far behind. I've been finding that if you want to run like lower paint stuff, then Booyah Stamper is really good. So it's okay. I feel like it's okay to run double Booyah. As long as like if you're running it for like the extra paint output that this one has, because this thing can paint 1500 to 2k paint every game. It's actually really insane. So this is very good. You definitely want to run Mint Decav, Slosher, or Booyah Stamper if you want to run some of the lower paint options that I'll talk about later. Or you could just pick two of these and run Glooga with them, and I don't think you need to run a dedicated support because they have a lot of paint on their own. We're not going to order these. Next up, we have the supporters. And I have two new ones here. I'm going to put both umbrellas with the reworks that they have in great supporters. The thing about these two umbrellas, I've been playing a lot with Umbrella Player recently, so I've been able to figure out kind of how these work. You can't have Umbrella be the dedicated painter. A lot of the ways that the top level Umbrella players are playing is still unchanged. They're going to be kind of a hybrid between supporting and fighting with Glooga. But what makes them, I think, fit better into the support slot is that they paint a lot and they can also get even more specials than they did before. So if you want to go with a playstyle that's more like Mini, where you're using your specials to your advantage, I think Strikes is good. But if you want your Umbrella player to be at their maximum potential, I think this Umbrella kit is really good. In Inkjet, Umbrella players are just really good at Inkjet, and I think you can think of it kind of like a Reef Slider, where you're going to be using it as a combat special. Alright, and finally, I'll look through the changes here. I'm going to move the splatter shots down here. I just think there's more competition with the other supports that have been run lately, and there's just less of a reason to run these two. Like, why would you have a short range weapon with like no added gimmicks when you can run a midline support, which, by the way, Mini Splatling right here gets more Zookas, and it has better paint and better fighting capabilities. Like, the only thing that you're missing is a bomb. I think this weapon is just better in every way. So, even though I'm a big shot believer, unless you have a shot player, I think you should consider other options. Splash I'm a little bit unsure of. I don't think there's another good crab option. Maybe Dreadringer is there, but I think this Dreadringer is actually gotten a lot better. As long as you're running this Dreadringer with a Slayer that has a retake special like Slosher, or Booyah Stamper, or Crab Stamper, something like that, as long as you have an answer to get your team in, I think this Dreadringer is actually really good. Not only does it have a bomb, it has excellent paint and AoE and combos, like with this Dread that I talked about last time, but it also has Slider, which isn't a retake, but it enhances your fights. Any damage from Glooga comboing with the 70 of the Dreadringer is going to kill, which is really awesome. It's just very good overall package for the types of comps that Glooga wants. Well, the partner that Glooga wants. Let's see. So I was talking about why shot was down, and I wanted to mention Dreadringer and the other crab options. I'm gonna order this here. I think having a short range weapon right now as a support is just kind of maybe a disadvantage, but I think you're probably going to be running this Dread more so than any other Dread. So if you're thinking crab option, I think Splash is your best option. Let's see. Is there... I will move this up, and I will move... I'm definitely gonna have the Splatlinks up. I think this mini goes here, because I don't think Glooga leans in too much into chip. But it definitely works good with some of the other stuff that Glooga likes to pair with, so it's another good option. You're just honestly going to be switching between this or this one if you want to run a mini. Because if you want bubble, you're probably going to run decaf in an ideal situation. But I think overall, like, these ones are the ones you want to run, and they're very good, very interchangeable. This one, whenever I play with this mini, now that I've had some time, it's just like heaven. Having so much paint and then beacons to come back. Like, I never have to worry about doing support stuff like painting around for my team as a Glooga, which is less than ideal. Like, I'm always just able to fight all the time, and I really enjoy that. I think I'm gonna move dualies down. I think these two weapons can work if you want them in your comp, like if you have another dually player. I don't think double dually is like a bad thing. I just think that, like, as a dually player myself, I think these weapons just lack a bit of the paint. I think Glooga would really like a support that paints a bit more, like Splash or Dreadringer or Mini, just so I can focus on fighting and it doesn't get stuck a lot. And I think these pros are good. I'm gonna start ordering these. I think the best support right now would probably... I'm still biased. I think your Dread player is gonna run the yellow one more, but I still think this has like everything that Glooga would want, so I'd want this to be the best support. And then I'll put the mini Splatlinks here because of their results, and also just like this kit just makes it so easy for you to play Glooga. Tenebrella, really fun. Run a different comp style. And I'm putting this one here, this Frozen Pro, because I just think missiles are nice if you are dealing with shocking weapons, or maybe you're dealing with E-leaders. This weapon's really good at clearing ledges on retake, so I think there's some merit to it, but just be careful, it has less paint than some of the other options. Yeah, I'm not going to order the rest of these. And then finally, we're going to be talking about something that's been happening a little bit more recently, which is alternative anchors. And I kind of debated on whether I wanted to bring this weapon in, but since I had Firefin already in here, I have to put in E-leader here, and I think this has to be very specific. You have to run very specific weapons, like I was talking about with the Dreadringer. If you're gonna run E-leader, you must be running N-Zap, and you also must be running one of the Slayers that has a retake special that paints, that you want a painting special, so you want Slosher. Glooga itself has Booyah Bomb, so maybe you can run Decaf too, but I think you want to really run Slosher with his Booyah Stamper. Probably Slosher as your second Slayer. And that's kind of the only comp that I run with leader, but if you have a leader player and you have an open mind, you can try it. This is definitely going to be the best charger out of all of them. You're not going to be running this kit like ever, I think. There's just too much competition with Crab Tank, and you can play more aggressive with this charger than you can with this one. This one's just a better kit, so you're going to play this one. And then I'm going to put in this bow as well. I've been seeing a little bit of this weapon in X-Rank especially, and the reason why you would want to run this one if you get a stringer player is just because it paints so much. This thing might be the most painting weapon in the game. Like, it craps out chumps like crazy, and the main weapon paints really well. I'm not sure if Glooga can really take advantage of the chip that this weapon provides, but just because of the paint alone, and I suppose the object damage too is pretty useful. I think it's something you could consider for a pickup. Bamboo. Yeah, this weapon's kind of like Tri-Stringer, but it has like less range. I'm just not really sure what you would run with this. If you're gonna run this with like Zap, what kind of Slayer like fighting partner would you run with it? Maybe probably only be able to run one of the Stampers, I would think, just because you kind of need the range to challenge other anchors. So I guess there's a comp that exists for Bamboo, so I'll keep it there. Edit. This edit. I'm actually going to move this. Funny enough, I'm going to change roles for this. I'm going to put this in the supporters. I don't think you really want to be using this anywhere else besides Crab Lake, and people usually just run this kit in place of a mini Splatling. So it's got one map, and I don't think you run it as an anchor, so it's going to move here, actually. And I think it's pretty good at what it does, getting crabs and object shredding and punishing people for rushing your team. And we're going to order this. I'm going to have... I think I'm... this one has the most results. I just got to put ZNF here. And then if this one is that good, then an E-Leader is the best charger, it can't be far behind. So I'm going to do something like that. I really like ballpoint special output. Pretty good paint output too. I'm going to put this one all the way in the back. And I think that's it. Alright, this is the 10.1 tier list. I hope you'll enjoy. I hope you enjoy my background noise or my wisdom, knowledge from playing over the past 4 months. Again, if you like the video, please give it a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and if you have any questions about my tier list, I would love to help you out. Have a good one.